Hello guys. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about changing percents to decimals and then also changing decimals to percentages. So let's begin. Boom. The first one we have is 37%. Now, anytime you hear the word percent, we are looking at dividing by 100, dividing by 100. With many of our grading systems, they are all in percentages. So just like you do in a class after an exam, you want to check your grade and it's going to be in percentages. That's exactly the same thing we're talking about. So 37% is 37 over 100. So really, this is changing from a percentage to a percent to a fraction. But that's not where we want to end. We want to go to a decimal. Now, for you to be able to solve this problem, remember that every whole number can be written as a decimal. So 37 can be written as 37.0. Because the 0.0 is nothing, so it's still 37. Even if I add 0.000, it's still 37, right? So it doesn't make a difference. So with this whole number we've got on top, well, here, which is 37, I'm going to go to the numerator here and then do 37 points. You know it's a zero. I'm not going to write a zero. Now, because I have two zeros and one, which makes it a 100, the two zeros tells me how many times I've got to move the point. So I'm going to move this point two times because I have one and then I've got two zeros. So I'm going to move the point two times to the left. Two times to the left. Two times to the left because the 100 is dividing to the left because it's dividing. So 1, 2. So this point now becomes that 0.37 or 0.37. And that's it. Boom, I'm done. 0.37. All right, another one. So let's say that I'm trying to change 47.52% to a decimal. So I'm going to write this as a fraction, 47.52 over 100. Now, the good thing is that with this one, I already have the point in the numerator. So you count the number of zeros you've got. I've got two zeros. And then, of course, you have to have one here. I've got 100, two zeros. So I'm going to move this two times to the left again because the 100 is dividing. So two times to the left, that gives me 4752. 4752. Another one. So let's say that I have 0.5%. 0.5%. This equals 0.5. So whatever it is, you just divide by 100. 0.5 divided by 100. And now you're going to move the point two times. 1, 2. So the point is going to move here this time. And then you're going to put a 0 in this column. So this allows me to write point. I've got two zeros and then the 5. So 0.005 or 0.005, and that's it. Now, 0.5% is different from 5%. If I have 5%, this is 5 over 100. And that should give me, remember, I've got a point here, so I move 1, 2 times. And then I'm going to put a 0 here. I've got 0.05. Then you could add the 0 here. So 0.05. So 0.5% is not the same as 5%. And to always remember that, or to know that to get this problem right, you have to follow the rule. 0.5% is 0.5 over 100. 5% is 5 over 100. And then you continue to fix it to a decimal, okay? Another one. 3.53%. Here, I would say pause the video and then try it by yourself. See if you get it right. So with this, I'm going to do 3.53 over 100. And then now, I already got a point, so I'm going to move the point. 1, 2, right here. So I put a 0 here. So this gives me 0.0353. And that is it. You're done. Okay, what about changing from decimal to percent? So let's look at that. Changing from decimal to percent. So this is changing from decimals to percent. We've got 0.49, 0.49, 0.49. To change this to percent, all that you're going to do is multiply this decimal by 100. So times 100. Multiply by 100. If you put that in a calculator, that gives you 49, and then you add your percent to it. Now, just like if you watch the video with the video on changing from percent to decimals, we had to move the point. Another way is that because here you're multiplying by 100, you're going to move the point 2 times to the right. When you're multiplying, you move it 1, 2 times to the right. So you've got 49.0, which is 49. So now the point is here, 0.0, which is 49%. That's all. So you don't have to write out times 100 if you know that you're just going to move the point. So I've got, let's say 3.5. Let's do 7 to percent. So it's either you're multiplying by 100 or you just move the point 2 times to the right. 1, 2, which gives me 357%. 357%. Or you just write out this, that, oh, okay, it is 3.657. I'm multiplying that by 100, so times 100. And that gives me 357. And then you put your percent sign on there. Okay. Another one. So let's say that I'm doing 0.5. I'm changing that to percent. So this is 0.5 times 100. And because you're multiplying by 1 and then 100, 2 zeros, you're moving this 2 times. 1, 2. So you put a 0 here, and that gives you 50. The point is right here, 50.0%, which is 50%. So with this one, you only move the point 2 times. 1, 2. 1, 2. Remember, you don't have to move the point and then multiply by 100. Nope. Nope. There are two methods, okay? So I don't want you to confuse both of them. Just write it out and then move the point. So this is 50. So you say it's 50%. But if you go to the calculator and then multiply that, you should get, multiply 0.5 by 100, it should give you 50, which is 50%. Another one, 0.45. Change this to a percent. 1, 2, and that gives me 45. Or you say 0.45 times 100, which gives you 45. 45. Okay. So division, you are moving the point to the left, 2 times to the left. That is going from percents to decimals. For multiplication, you're moving the points to the right 2 times because it's multiplication. And that brings you to a percent. All right. Thank you. Bye.